If you have already watched this introductory information, you can skip ahead no more than 10 minutes. Hello, welcome. I am predicting that Vice President Kamala Harris will die in a plane crash in St. Louis due to a bird strike into Busch Stadium. In the area code 314, it will be a burning bush, as described in Exodus 3:14. On December 24th, 2024, she will be replaced by Michelle Obama, and then Barack Obama will replace Michelle. It is predicted that President Trump will die from a heart attack on December 26th, 2024. It is also predicted that Trump's heart attack will be triggered by a directed energy weapon that will target Trump through Bluetooth technology. The components inside the pointy thing that Trump took will facilitate this, and it is believed that when Trump visited Biden at the White House, Trump's Bluetooth MAC address was obtained, which will be used to target Trump with a directed energy weapon. It is predicted that on December 25th, Joe Biden will suffer a stroke. After Kamala Harris's predicted plane crash on December 24th and Joe Biden's predicted stroke on December 25th, it is predicted that Joe Biden will replace Kamala Harris with Michelle Obama as the vice president. Per the 20th Amendment, Congress will vote to make Michelle Obama the temporary president. It is predicted that Joe Biden will then step down and Michelle Obama will become the 47th president, and then she will appoint Barack Obama as the 51st vice president. It is then predicted that she will step down on January 12th and Barack Obama will become the 48th president. I am predicting that former President Jimmy Carter will die on January 28th. It is predicted that on April 20th, 2025, there will be an outbreak of monkeypox or Marburg disease or both. April 20th will be a symbolic beginning to a new pandemic. Alternatively, it could also be that the symbolic beginning to the new pandemic will be on April 1st, 2025, and that on April 20th, 2025, martial law will be declared because of the new outbreak. It is predicted that on June 9th, the day after the rapture, the key will open the bottomless pit and fallen angels will cross over into the earthly realm. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to the fifth trumpet judgment that is described in Revelation chapter 9, when the demonic realm collides with the earthly realm. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to demons pretending to be aliens. The demons pretending to be aliens will claim to be here to help us with our nuclear weapons after Damascus, Syria is destroyed with a nuclear weapon the day before June 9th. And it is possible that June 9th will be the day Pope Francis will announce that aliens have arrived and have made him the ambassador for the world. This will immediately give Pope Francis, the Antichrist, supreme power over governments of the world. At some point, there will be a massive Mary apparition that will deceive the masses, because all Mary apparitions in history have been demons pretending to be Mary. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to a zombie pandemic and the masses becoming demonically possessed that will be facilitated through the thing, which is the mark of the Antichrist and 5G frequencies. June 9th will be a symbolic beginning to the coming genocide politicide in America. I am predicting that singer-songwriter Paul Simon will die on August 1st, 2025. It is predicted that on August 6th, 2025, the historic barge that has been stuck on the rocks of the Niagara River for over 100 years will finally break free and crash over Niagara Falls. The reason for this is that Niagara Falls is Noah's flood symbolism, and the barge was involved in the most dramatic rescue in the history of Niagara Falls, symbolic of Noah's Ark. Niagara in the native language means straight, narrow way, and Niagara's Horseshoe Falls is perfectly aimed at the CN Tower in downtown Toronto, because Toronto and its tower are symbolic of the Tower of Babel. In a game of horseshoes, the object is to aim the horseshoe and throw it at the metal stick, which is why the Horseshoe Falls is perfectly aimed at the metal stick that is the CN Tower. God is communicating that as testament for those who will live in the 1,000 years of Christ's reign on earth, the geography of North America will, as a result of a massive earthquake, be divided by a body of water from the Great Lakes to the Mississippi Delta. This destruction will be judgment on America and Canada for attempting to divide God's land, Israel. When this happens, the water in the Great Lakes will spill out over southern Ontario and Toronto. I am predicting that a solar flare will erupt on the surface of the sun and send a coronal mass ejection that will hit Earth on August 13th, 2025, which will knock out America's power grid and will lead to food shortages. The hit of the coronal mass ejection, predicted for August 13th, that will knock out the power grid will also knock many planes out of the sky. I am predicting that on August 23rd, 2025, there will be a catastrophic asteroid hit of Earth, which will trigger the eruption of Yellowstone volcano and will cause the volcano in the Canary Islands to collapse into the Atlantic Ocean and send a mega tsunami towards the east coast. The asteroid will also trigger a mega landslide on Hawaii Island that will trigger a mega tsunami that will hit the west coast. It will also trigger the collapse of the Hoover Dam, which will cause a water panic in California, and many other devastating earthquakes. The day of the Lord, the second coming of Lord Jesus Christ, Judgment Day, will be at the end of 2026. The date that this video is posted proves that these predictions are being made ahead of time, as do these time-stamped emails and forensic notes PDF documents. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. Believe me, I know far better than you how the prediction made in this video was derived. And more importantly, I know far better than you why the righteous Christian God of the Bible has given me a voice through this prediction. If you are a quote-unquote Christian or Muslim, this prediction was not learned through a demon. Be warned that blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the unforgivable sin. If you are a New Ager or New Spirituality person, this prediction was not learned through somehow tapping into the supposed universal collective consciousness. If you are a conspiracy theorist, this prediction was not learned through figuring out a supposed code that the Illuminati and Satanists are using. This prediction was learned through the Bible and through watching carefully the Lord's prophetic signs, which Jesus commanded all Christians to do. Besides proving that Jesus Christ is the Lord, the reason why God has given me a voice through this prediction is to prove that the controversial things that I am saying in the videos on this channel are the truth. Therefore, a wise person will want to watch all of the videos on this channel. What I will also do is create a video or two that summarizes some of the controversial things that the Lord will prove to be true when the prediction being made in this video comes to pass. I will leave links to these must-watch videos in the description box below this video. Again, the purpose of this prediction, that is from God, is to prove these things that I will talk about. And therefore, it would be foolish to not watch the videos that I will leave links for in the description box below this video. Make a note right now of these alternative platforms that you can find me on in case you can't find me later. The name Trump is equal to 88 in Simple English Gematria. The shooting at the Hilton Hotel, which gives us HH. H is the 8th letter in the alphabet, and so Hilton Hotel hints at Trump. And again, it was the CEO that was shot in front of the Hilton Hotel, which hints at the CEO of America, Trump. And again, the shooting was on the only day that the Dow closed above 45,000, which hints at the 45th president, CEO of America, getting assassinated. Okay, so the name Trump is equal to 88 in Simple English Gematria. The shooting at the Hilton Hotel, which hints at 88, occurred on the same day as the official release of the trailer for Paris Hilton's new show Encore. So we have the shooting in front of the Hilton Hotel on the same day as the official release of the trailer for Paris Hilton's new show named Encore, which was days before Trump was in Paris for the reopening, as in Encore, of the Notre Dame Cathedral. And Encore is a French word, and the Notre Dame Cathedral is in France. Encore is a borrowed word from the French language. So let me just repeat that. Trump is equal to 88. The shooting was in front of the Hilton Hotel, which is at 88, on the same day as Paris Hilton's new show Encore trailer, which was just days before Trump, 88, was in Paris for the reopening, as in Encore, of the Notre Dame Cathedral. Michelle Obama was on a riverboat cruise next to the Notre Dame Cathedral during the fire. Okay? You can see images of her. There's an image that's went viral, is viral, of her drinking a glass of wine on the roof of the riverboat cruise. She's on the boat. The boat has been chartered for her to promote her new her autobiography, Becoming, which is because she will become the president. But she was promoting the book. She's on the roof of the riverboat cruise. She's sipping some wine in a wine glass. And you can clearly see in the reflection of the wine glass, the burning cathedral. It's amazing. It's so extremely prophetic. It's as if she's drinking the burning cathedral, which was a massive prophetic sign and was a prophetic sign of judgment warning for the church. Because the main theme of God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections, which is only being explained on this channel, is judgment warning for the church. As Peter said, judgment begins with the church, which God is very, very displeased with, including and especially the American church and the American evangelical church, the Church of Laodicea that thinks it is in need of nothing. And you won't hear this message, as far as I'm aware, anywhere else. And that's, I believe, the reason why the true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections is only being explained on this channel. But the Notre Dame fire was a roof fire. It went for 9 hours, which was remarkable at the time. It was the story about how it just kept burning and couldn't be put out. But it went for 9 hours because the number 9 is the most important number in God's true big picture of signs, patterns, and connections, as from the Bible it symbolizes God's judgment. It was a roof fire because this is one of many church roof destruction prophetic signs that symbolize the church, because the beginning of the church age was when the disciples were in the upper room when tongues of fire came down. So that's why these church roof fires and other destruction, like tornado, for example, ripping off the roof, make sure you watch the 23 church signs video on this channel. Arguably, if you are a Christian, is the most important video for you. But this is the reason for the 9-hour Notre Dame church roof fire involving Michelle Obama. It's ultimately pointing back to the American church. She's drinking a wine glass, or she's drinking the burning fire. Her riverboat cruise actually had to be redirected, rerouted because of the fire. Because if you didn't know, the Notre Dame Cathedral sits on an island in the middle of the river. So, this is also amazing because the name of the cathedral hints at Michelle Obama. The name of the cathedral is named after the supposed Queen of Heaven, which is blasphemy. Catholicism is blasphemy. It isn't Christianity. It isn't the Bible. I'm not saying, a Catholic will not be saved, but if they will be, it will be in spite of their Catholicism and not because of it. But that said, and there will be a massive Mary apparition that will come and deceive many people, because all Mary apparitions in history have been demons pretending to be Mary. And that's quite obvious when one just reads the quotes from these supposed Mary apparitions. If you have a basic knowledge of the gospel and the Bible, you'll recognize this. But that said, that's why, Catholics don't read the Bible in general. And they love their supernatural phenomena, which is why demons love to deceive them. I'll just give you one other quick example. I met a woman and had a long conversation with her, and she told me about how a time when she went with her friends into a cathedral, and the piece of bread that the Catholics take levitated off of the table. And I believe her. I believe that actually happened. I have no reason to not believe that. That makes perfect sense to me. And the reason why it makes sense to me is because of the only two explanations that are possible, which is one, it was angels lifting the piece of bread off the table to encourage the Catholics to take more pieces of bread for their salvation, or it was a demon lifting the piece of bread off the table in order to encourage Catholics to take more pieces of bread for their salvation. Because it's the wicked deception from Satan. The Catholic doctrine of taking the piece of bread for their salvation, which distracts them from what leads to their salvation. If only they would read the Bible and read the teachings of Jesus. But that doesn't only go for Catholics, because Protestants and evangelicals love to not read the teachings of Jesus also. And if they do, interpret them through the writings of Paul instead of the other way around. Well, anyway, what I was saying here, though, is that Michelle Obama was on the riverboat cruise next to the Notre Dame Cathedral during the fire, and this was exactly 6 times 6 times 6 weeks before a plane owned by a company named Encore flew over the White House and then crashed. Okay, so Michelle Obama was in France and the encore reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral was when Trump was at the cathedral. But Michelle Obama was at the cathedral in France exactly 6 times 6 times 6 weeks before a plane owned by a company named Encore flew over the White House and then crashed. Now, the plane that went over the capital region caused F-16s to be launched in a major hurry to intercept the plane flying over restricted airspace. And the F-16s hint at 4 times 4. 16 hints at 4 times 4. They made a sonic boom, which is symbolic of thunder, when the name Barak means lightning in Hebrew. And the plane then crashed after it flew over the airspace because the pilot had been incapacitated, and the poor passengers on the plane were at a loss as to what to do And the thing that's being communicated here is the reason why he became unconscious on the steering wheel of the plane at the seat, in the pilot's seat. It was because he obviously suffered a heart attack, and that's because he took the thing, the mark of the Antichrist, which causes these incidents, which is how Trump is predicted to die. Now, the 6 times 6 times 6 weeks connection confirms this. It proves this. Because 666 is the number of the Antichrist in Bible prophecy. And let's see. On the day of the Encore plane crash was the crash of Michael J. Fox onto the couch at a Back to the Future panel at a convention. And God is using Michael J. Fox, and well, Fox, the name Fox hints at 666 because F is the 6th letter of the alphabet, O is the 15th letter of the alphabet, and 1 plus 5 equals 6, and X is the 24th letter of the alphabet, and 2 plus 4 equals 6. So that's confirmation of the 6 times 6 times 6 weeks, furthermore. But it was also a crash, because he crashed onto the couch because of his Parkinson's. And MJ also, God is using in his science, like Michael Jordan, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Michael J. Fox, Michael Jackson, who died from taking a thing, incidentally, and was ruled a homicide in court. MJ is equal to 23 in simple English gematria. And this number identifies the Antichrist, the basketball president who wore 23 in high school. Furthermore, the mark of the Antichrist changes a person's 23 chromosomes. And 2 divided by 3 equals 0.666. And also, Jesus told Peter in Mark, the book of Mark, that the rooster would not crow twice before he would deny him 3 times, which is the reason for this prophetic symbolism in the number 23. G23 is the word that means to be very displeased, indignant, etc., which is how God feels towards his church, which is the reason for the 23 church signs, for example. And so anyway, taking the mark of the Antichrist, though, is tantamount to denying Jesus, which is why the mark of the Antichrist changes a person's 23 chromosomes because of the rooster not crowing twice before Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Okay. So, now the word encore is borrowed from the French language. And Michelle Obama was next to the Notre Dame Cathedral fire exactly 3,666 days after she committed a faux pas, another French word, borrowed from the French language, by hugging the Queen of England. Okay, she committed the faux pas by hugging the Queen of England. She and her husband will have an encore presidency and return to the White House with her as the Queen of America after Trump's predicted death. So hopefully you got all that. I explained this in another video with a diagram if it helps you, but it's quite straightforward. Now, that's why the CEO for the United Healthcare was shot in front of the Hilton Hotel days before Trump was in Paris, and shot on the day that Paris Hilton released her trailer for her new show Encore. Okay. And by the way, on the day of the first episode of the show, Trump was in Manhattan, where the shooting was. He was there to ring the opening bell for Wall Street and was named Time Magazine Person of the Year for the 2nd time. Anyway, that's another prophetic sign explained in other videos. Okay, so that's the reason for the encore symbolism here, is because of the encore presidency of Barack Obama. That's what it's all pointing to. Before the reopening of the cathedral, the bells were rung for 5 minutes Okay, like a month before, the bells were tested and they rang for the first time in 5 years for 5 minutes, the Notre Dame Cathedral bells. And the reopening was celebrated 5 years after it burned. That was a big thing about the story about all of this reopening, was the miraculous reconstruction in 5 years after the burn. Okay, and also the bells rang for 5 minutes. That's because Trump was in attendance for the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral and the ringing of its bells after 5 years after it burned. Trump was there 5% of a year before he is predicted to die. His death will be the result of 5G frequencies, which will point to the fifth trumpet in the book of Revelation, which describes the coming mass demonic possession of people. Okay, in the fifth trumpet. And the sound of the bells ringing for 5 minutes was frequencies in the air. The death of the 50-year-old CEO of United Healthcare points to the mark of the Antichrist inside people that will be a receiver of the 5G frequencies that will facilitate mass demonic possession. And the 50-year-old's murder near Trump Tower, near 5th Avenue and 55th Street, which is where the parade was stopped, by the way, was 666.6% of a year after one person died in Trump Tower in a fire on the 50th floor. Believe me, I know far better than you how the prediction made in this video was derived. And more importantly, I know far better than you why the righteous Christian God of the Bible has given me a voice through this prediction. If you are a quote-unquote Christian or Muslim, this prediction was not learned through a demon. Be warned that blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the unforgivable sin. If you are a New Ager or New Spirituality person, this prediction was not learned through somehow tapping into the supposed universal collective consciousness. If you are a conspiracy theorist, this prediction was not learned through figuring out a supposed code that the Illuminati and Satanists are using. This prediction was learned through the Bible and through watching carefully the Lord's prophetic signs, which Jesus commanded all Christians to do. Besides proving that Jesus Christ is the Lord, the reason why God has given me a voice through this prediction is to prove that the controversial things that I am saying in the videos on this channel are the truth. Therefore, a wise person will want to watch all of the videos on this channel. What I will also do is create a video or two that summarizes some of the controversial things that the Lord will prove to be true when the prediction being made in this video comes to pass. I will leave links to these must-watch videos in the description box below this video. Again, the purpose of this prediction, that is from God, is to prove these things that I will talk about. And therefore, it would be foolish to not watch the videos that I will leave links for in the description box below this video. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. In the last days, many people who claim to be a follower of Christ will have spiritual experiences that are in reality demonic. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. please leave a like and upvote the video. And once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more, don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the Odyssey.com or Rumble.com channel, and do it now in case you aren't able to later.